Hello, and welcome to my channel. Today, we're diving into the golden ages of 5 of the largest and most influential empires in history. These empires not only spanned massive territories, but also amassed vast wealth, commanded powerful militaries, and left a mark on the world that endures to this day. So, let's explore the heights of these monumental empires, one by one. Number 5. The Ching Dynasty represents the zenith of imperial China, covering 14.7 million square kilometers and unifying regions across Tibet, Mongolia, and Manchuria. China's economy thrived on the highly profitable trade of silk, tea, and porcelain with foreign countries, especially along the Silk Road and maritime routes. These exports brought around 10,000 tons of silver annually, positioning China as one of the wealthiest economies of its time. The Qing dynasty commanded a strong army of around 1 million soldiers. Despite its economic success, the Qing faced challenges from Western powers, leading to its eventual decline. Its legacy in administration, cultural achievements, and territorial unity marks an essential chapter in China's history. Peak era: mid-17th century to 1912. Land size: 14.7 million square kilometers. Population: around 400 million by the late 19th century. Military strength: approximately 1 million soldiers. Wealth: estimated 10,000 tons of silver from annual trade of silk, tea, and porcelain. Number 4. The Spanish Empire was among the first global empires, with territories in the Americas, Asia, and Africa. Wealth from silver and gold mines in South America, especially in modern-day Peru and Bolivia, fueled its power in Europe. An estimated 200,000 tons of silver and 20,000 tons of gold were extracted, enabling Spain to finance wars, spread Catholic missions, and establish Spanish culture globally. At its height, the Spanish Empire had around 500,000 soldiers and a powerful naval fleet to protect its overseas territories. Spanish culture, language, and religion spread across its colonies, leaving a profound legacy. Over time, the empire faced economic challenges and independence movements, ultimately leading to its decline. Peak era: early 16th century to late 19th century. Land size: 13.7 million square kilometers. Population: approximately 68 million at its peak. Military strength: roughly 500,000 troops. Wealth: 200,000 tons of silver and 20,000 tons of gold extracted from South American mines. Number 3. The Russian Empire spanned Eastern Europe, parts of Asia, and even North America at its height, covering around 22.8 million square kilometers. Governed by the Tsars, it pursued territorial expansion to secure vast resources like grain, fur, and precious metals. Siberia alone yielded approximately 20,000 kilograms of gold annually, contributing to Russia's wealth. Fur, another valuable resource, was actively traded across the empire. Militarily, the empire maintained one of the largest armies, with 4.5 million troops by World War I. Although modernization challenges persisted, this army was crucial for protecting its extensive territory. The empire's administration had to manage various ethnic and religious groups, creating a rich cultural mix, but also governance challenges. Eventually, the Russian Empire collapsed in 1917, leading to the Russian Revolution and the formation of the Soviet Union. Despite its decline, the empire influenced surrounding regions, spreading Russian culture, language, and Orthodox Christianity. It also drove scientific exploration, particularly in Arctic regions. The Russian Empire's expansive history and legacy continue to shape modern Russia and its former territories. Peak era: late 18th century to 1917. Land size: 22.8 million square kilometers. Population: about 125 million in 1914. Military strength: approximately 4.5 million troops during World War I. Wealth: annual production of 500,000 tons of grain, 100,000 furs, and 20,000 kilograms of gold from Siberian mines. Number 2. Led by Genghis Khan, the Mongol Empire expanded rapidly from Central Asia, reaching China, Persia, and even parts of Europe. the Mongols used swift cavalry and ingenious military strategies to conquer lands efficiently, making it the largest contiguous land empire in history, covering roughly 24 million square kilometers. This was achieved with a relatively small but elite military force skilled in psychological warfare and logistics. The Mongols secured immense wealth through taxation and tribute from conquered lands, especially from affluent regions like China and Persia. With control over the Silk Road, they dominated trade in Eurasia, fostering a unique exchange of cultures, ideas, and goods. The empire encouraged technological flow, from paper currency to postal systems, laying the groundwork for early globalization. The Mongol Empire also had a lasting impact on Europe, as travelers like Marco Polo returned with accounts of its wealth and organization. Through military prowess and cultural openness, the Mongol Empire shaped military strategy, trade, and cultural exchange, leaving a legacy still recognized today. Peak era: 13th century, 1206 to 1368. Land size: 24 million square kilometers. Population: around 100 million at its height. Military strength: estimated at 200,000 elite warriors. Wealth: annual tributes of 400 tons of gold and around 1 million silver bars from regions including China and Persia. Number 1. Known as the empire on which the sun never sets, the British Empire reached an astonishing size, covering 35.5 million square kilometers across continents, from North America and the Caribbean to Africa, India, and Australia. In the early 20th century, nearly 1 in every 4 people on Earth lived under British rule. This empire's economic foundation thrived on overseas trade, industrial innovation, and resources extracted from its colonies. With around 25,000 tons of gold, Britain became a global powerhouse, primarily due to resource extraction supported by its formidable navy. Military strength was essential to maintaining British dominance. By World War I, the empire had mobilized approximately 8 million troops to defend its vast territories. The British Navy, the largest in the world, was key to protecting colonies and trade routes, and its naval prowess allowed Britain to enforce control across the seas. Culturally, the empire left a lasting legacy, establishing education systems, railways, and English as a global language throughout its colonies. Despite its power, British rule brought complex outcomes. Colonialism led to cultural blending, economic dependence, and resistance movements that shaped the identity of many colonies. The British Empire's military strength, wealth, and global influence make it a remarkable example in world history, albeit with lasting impacts and controversies. Peak era: late 19th to early 20th century. Land size: 35.5 million square kilometers. Population: around 400 million in the 1920s. Military strength: approximately 8 million troops during World War I. Wealth: estimated at 1.5 billion pounds in gold, equivalent to around 25,000 tons. These empires, with their vast territories and wealth, profoundly shaped world history. They influenced global politics, economics, and cultures in ways that still resonate. Balancing military power with diplomacy was key to their growth, and their legacies continue to impact our world today. If you enjoyed this deep dive into history, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and stay connected for more stories from the past.